Hi everyone, welcome back. This I think is day 3 of backgrounds, and oh boy, what a mess I make. All right, I'm gonna start out with the disclaimer that I've originally done and seen this technique done by wrapping string around canvas. So trying to do that with a thin piece of paper is difficult. I ended up having to tape, 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 and more taping. And then of course you had the wet ink um, afterwards and trying to get the tape all up. And yeah, it would have looked so much better had I been working on a hard surface. But because we in our art journals are typically working with a paper type of surface, I had to resort to taping this stuff down. That said, it's a lot of fun, and I really do actually like the backgrounds, and I can I immediately was getting inspired as to what I could create on these pages based strictly on the effects that you're getting with the inks. Now, a couple of things. I used a combination of spray inks. The one bottle that's not the tumble dyes is actually just a dark purple acrylic. Well, it's actually a dark purple acrylic ink plus some black acrylic ink mixed with water and put into a spray bottle. The rest of them were actually the tumble dyes. But that's so much fun, I think, to get spray inks out and to use them a little bit, differently than just spraying through a stencil, which is, what we heavily used to do. So in that respect, this was a lot of fun. This is a very messy process. I highly recommend, if you don't want ink stained fingers, to either wear gloves or some type of a protectorant over your hands. My hands are always stained and covered with paint and ink and a myriad of other things, although I do wear a protective barrier. So I do recommend that. But these are probably some of the fastest backgrounds that you can create. Just simply because there's very little to it. Now, I didn't want a lot of the pooling of the ink, so I did actually go over it like I'm doing here with the baby wipe, and then I tried to slide the page out. So I did lose a little bit of my crisp lines by doing that, but I didn't want to have to retape everything to do a second one. When I did the second page, I did actually really, I think, put down a little too much spray. So I think I would have been better off if I had maybe used, some different sprays or something. Maybe a better spray nozzle. As you can see, this one has its own little issues. But overall, really awesome, fun background, and I think maybe it could start inspiring you to think of using just, a myriad of different things for this, not just using the string like I've done here. And I also have a handful now of hand-dyed string that I can use for some other project or even bookbinding. All right, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the backgrounds, and I look forward to when we use these pages as actual finished art journal pages. Thanks for watching.